Yo, here we go. Here we go, man. Here we go. Oh, man, here we go. Dude, do you see that? Oh, dude. Dude, I cannot believe we're going to do this. Oh, man. The good thing, too, is, go just Shadow of Colossus, right? Yeah, it's just, this is by far, like, a very good picture find, because I was able to find this picture in Shadow of Colossus. I was able to find this. It's scary, but it's also, oh my gosh, it's exciting. Now, when I get to the spot, which I'll show you the spot and location, okay? So we're gonna show you spot and location, okay? We're gonna have to do it a lot. We're gonna have to crash the game a lot, But after we crash the game so much, or like so many times, we will see it. Like big pictures, and that's my big TV. That's kind of like a blemish. But like, okay, so right where the tower is, okay, right where the tower is, you'll see across. You'll see like this odd glitchy texture. You'll see it down there. See that odd glitchy texture? That's the fuse. See, that's the fuse. That's what's fusing on Wanderer's head. But the crazy thing is you can see this glitching, and you're just going to have to go out to the desert, okay? And you don't want to go too close, because I'm pretty sure... now, I don't know if this is exclusively on Shadow of Colossus PlayStation 3 version. You might be able to see it on the PS2 version. But once you see it, you do not want to go so close to it, because if you go close to it, it will be canceled out. Now, there is surprisingly... at the end of the world, when you go behind the bridge, there is a piece that looks like it'd be the missing piece to this. It looks like it'd be like the missing piece that fills this in. But isn't that crazy though? Like at the end of a bridge, they have a piece. So yeah, this is the fusion. This is the thing that's fusing on to the head. Now, it's too hard to say, because I'm telling you, it's moving like in a certain motion, and the motion that it's moving is fast, slow, slow, fast. So there could be some other colors, but for the most part, this is the color, and this is the fusion that's fused onto the head. And we don't even, like, when I, like, activate it, we don't even have his... It goes for quite a bit, but then the game crashes. But, like, his head... is going to like, and it's so nuts, because like how things load in Shadow of Colossus is they get small or they get big, right? They get like really big or they get really small. In this, it goes like from big to morphing into the head, right? Of Devil. Okay, so Devil, all right. So Devil's head. It goes out for like, and it's almost like a nanosecond, because that's just how the game loads. It's like a nanosecond of his head just loading. Like I told you, there's a pointy part. You see the pointy part. You can even see like the split, because it's long. Okay, so it's long. Okay, so you see in this picture, it's like long, but then it splits. When it splits down, it has the split, and then it crams into a head. It becomes pointy. It moves too, which is very, very creepy. That's why I want to get the picture of it, and that's why I haven't shown the spot yet. But in the desert, we're already creeped out in the desert because we're seeing it. But we, even though we're seeing a little part of it, okay, because we're not seeing like... we're not seeing the body, we're not seeing the big head, because this is all fused on Wander, okay? So this is fused on Wander, and it makes him, like, a little bit bigger, of course. We know Devil's pretty big. But, so this texture right here, it will only expand, and it will only grow in the game. In the game, it will only expand and only grow once we get to the spot. So once we get to the spot, because that's when he'll get into chair position and all that. But yeah, this, I'm trying to analyze this picture too, like just to see the other stuff that's around it, to see if there's anything else that's like, showing some stuff. But like, you even like look at the arch. We see some faces on the arch, right? It's the picture itself is eerie, because Yeah, we have a lot of faces going. Do you see the faces in this picture? If you pay attention to this picture, you'll see some of the faces. You'll see one of the faces looking like Wanderer's face, which is like in the background. You'll see that. It looks like Wanderer's face. But then we have like up above, we have like and that shadow is pretty crazy too, because I think like when you activate it, it's loading all the textures, you know. So there's like a shadow on the wall. You see, there's like on the top of the wall. There's like this shadow bulbish, and it looks mysterious, but that's showing you because there's this point. It's the point is supposed to show you because Wanderer can't move. Okay, so he can't move, but the head is supposed to be like a 3D animation. Okay, so they need to have like a divide point. Now, when you're walking to the bridge too, and it's like, but like if you even like look at the fusion at the bottom because of this cut corner, and it looks so glitchy, like it looks glitchy down here. It also does look like the toolbox because the toolbox, whenever you go into the toolbox where you get glitched, and you're in the toolbox, it's always like down. Like, you know, there's always like down stuff. There's different examples of you cutting out of the map, but you'll always have like this down effect of like the floor not being there and that kind of thing. But this is the exact it's showing like the meshing of the animation, but it's also showing like because like the head's kind of moving. Like I told you, it's fast, but it's also slow. It's slow because it needs to be creepy. It needs to be like in your face, you know. So that's where it is. This little part right here, and it's pretty funny too because they got like all these hills covering it up, right? Okay, so they have all the hills. Now, if you look in the background for even Devil, right? For Devil, we do know that the other pictures that we've seen, right? We've seen little tiny bricks, right? So what do you see in this picture? You see the tiny bricks on a mountain, right? So now you're seeing it on a mountain. You're seeing like the tiny brick adorations and all that. It's one of the best findings ever, and it's always been in our face. And there is even, you know, boss battles that you go to in Shadow of Colossus where you'll go to this area, of course, and there's a shrine nearby, right? So there's a shrine nearby, and there's a you know, in the distance you can even see different setting of the area of the boss, right? But like this whole thing, it's so tiny. And once you see it too, I advise not to move. And the reason I advise not to move is because the camera might just glitch out and then load the mountain part. You know, it might not load that. But the coolest thing too also is if you have any self doubts, right? If you're like doubtful of this or whatever, the missing piece of where this glitchy area is, okay, where this little glitchy area down here is, that piece is when you go to like the end of the bridge in the desert, and then you go like right behind, there's a spot. And this might be only to the PS3 version too, so keep that in mind. The little piece, you can go up to it. It will load in and it will load out. It will load in and it will load out. Like it will go out of place, and that's the piece where this should be. So on the floor. So if you're still having trouble seeing what I'm pointing to, okay, it's at the bottom of the sand floor. There's this little glitchy area. Do you see that little glitchy area? And it's like the lines. And if you've glitched out of Shadow of Colossus, you'll know what it is, because whenever you glitch out of Shadow of Colossus, like it goes like to this white. If you fall down below the map, and you know, like Wanderer, he'll just stand there. He will stand there. He'll be like frozen. He'll be frozen in air, or like he'll stay in there. And that's also a good, decent example of the toolbox. Now the toolbox, there's a good toolbox, and then that's the toolbox we want to get to, right? Okay, so we want to get to that toolbox. But all the other toolboxes are different. They're like different ones. There's like different ways where you're jumping out of the map, and then you just have to restart your game, or the game crashes, you know, and you have to restart your game. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I do see the face. You have to look. You don't have to look too hard, but if you like look above the hill, okay, not the glitchy area, but above the hill. The glitchy area is the most important part, though. That's the fusion. Okay, so that's the fusion stuff. But above the hill, you can see Wanderer's face. It looks pretty evil. Doesn't even look like Wanderer's face, but like Wanderer is being fused to become Devil. Okay, so he becomes Devil. You know why we're calling him Devil, but like he becomes Devil. Um, this has been one of like the best findings I've found in Shadow of Colossus, and under the bridge is just an amazing area to be at. I wanted to go further into that area too because there's some other parts that I want to go to. But yeah, it's here.